Among the vast sea of collectible gear and hats on Roblox, there stands a legendary series, a symbol of power, rarity, and aesthetic dominance, the Immortal Swords. These massive, themed blades have become one of the longest-running back accessory series in Roblox history, each one adorned with a unique name, each one marked by a distinct aura of mystique, and each one resting on the player's back, never truly drawn, but always ready, metaphorically. The very first Immortal Sword was created using the mesh title Mesh Deluxe Claymore Mesh, a powerful-looking great sword designed to hang across a player's back like a warrior's trophy. Since then, dozens of swords have followed its footsteps, all unified by one thing: the name Immortal Sword, always followed by a unique subtitle. From the Skull Slayers to Burning Embrace, the frightful Blade of Bone, each one tells a story through its name, color scheme, and design. Immortal Swords are typically released in limited quantities, often only 100 copies, and when they drop, they sell out in seconds. Some are released during major sales like Black Friday, Memorial Day, or Labor Day. Others appear randomly, catching the catalog off guard. They're highly sought after not just for their looks, but for their resale value on the marketplace, some reaching prices well beyond the original cost. Every Immortal Sword shares a familiar line in its description, quote unquote, "This sword hangs on your back, so it's always ready for action." It's a hat though, so it's never really ready for action. It's become a running gag across the series, a tongue-in-cheek nod to how these massive weapons serve purely cosmetic purposes. The only exception to this is the Phoenix Feather, which breaks tradition with just two words: buyer beware. Short, dreadful, fitting. The very first sword to launch the now famous series was the Immortal Sword, the Peacemaker. Released on May 19, 2016, this bag accessory could have been purchased for 10,000 Robux, with only 100 copies ever made available. It quickly gained popularity, having over 17,000 favorites to this day. Visually, the Peacemaker features a massive silver and golden blade, with a dark blue handle and a matching cloth draped from the hilt, almost like a ceremonial banner caught in the wind. Its description is a tongue-in-cheek line that would become a signature closing phrase for almost every Immortal Sword released afterward. To this day, it remains one of the largest swords in the entire series, rivaled only by its retextured sibling, the Immortal Sword Wicked Heart, a darker variant introduced later. It wasn't just a statement of power, it was a sword that started it all. Following up on the success of the Peacemaker, Roblox released its haunting successor, Immortal Sword, Skull Slayer, on September 1st, 2016. This limited unique sword was priced at a steep 25,000 Robux, with only 100 copies made available. As expected, it sold out fast and instantly and became one of the most coveted swords in the entire series. The Skull Slayer features a purple and gold hilt, a dangling skull charm, and a blood-red blade with jagged edges and spiral engravings, giving it a cursed and intimidating aesthetic. The description is a direct nod to Yorick, the doomed skull from Shakespeare's Hamlet, and possibly a deeper reference to forgotten souls left in the wake of this sword's path. Dark, deadly, and draped in lore, the Skull Slayer marked a sharp turn for the Immortal Sword series, making it clear it wasn't just a cosmic line, it was becoming a legacy. As winter rolled in, Roblox unveiled the chunk third edition to the Immortal Sword series, Immortal Sword Endless Ice Slasher, released on December 8, 2016. Sold for 25,000 Robux with only 100 copies available, this sword quickly froze its place in the collection as one of the coolest looking designs in the line. The Endless Ice Slasher is a light blue, frost-themed sword with icicles hanging off its guard. Its rugged blade fades from icy blue to near white at the tip, while the handle is wrapped in frosted brown bandages. Its description builds on this, suggesting the sword has been passed down through many hands, and will be passed down to many more. With its glacier style and timeless message, the Ice Slasher isn't just a cosmetic, it's a legacy carried on the shoulders of any warrior brave enough to wear it. Released on February 2nd, 2017, Immortal Sword, Venom's Bite, marked the fourth entry in the Immortal Sword lineup. Like those before it was priced at 25,000 Robux and sold in a limited batch of 100 copies. This sword takes a darker turn with its design, featuring a sleek, gray blade edged with green markings, evoking a venomous energy pulsing through the weapon. Its green handle adds to the toxic theme, and dangling from the hilt is a bat-shaped chain, hinting at something sinister and cursed. Its description reinforces this tone, portraying the sword as a cursed relic that dooms anyone who dares to wield it. It maintains the signature Immortal Sword phrasing, always ready yet never truly drawn, adding to the mystique that defines this long-running series. Immortal Sword Burning Embrace was introduced during the Memorial Day sale of 2017, going on sale for 10,000 Robux on May 29th, but only for 1 hour. Within that short window, 239 copies were sold, making it the first Immortal Sword to break the series' typical 100-copy mold. It remained off sale for years before finally going limited on July 1st, 2022. It has a flame-themed appearance, with the appearance having lava in a steel mold. The sword's name and description speaks to its volatile nature, a blade fueled by unstoppable energy, burning with untamed power. Despite its dormant position on your back, it carries the same signature line as every other Immortal Sword, steadily reminding players that it's never really going into action. Yet with its lore and exclusivity, this sword still ignites some demand. Immortal Sword American Splendor was released on June 30th, 2017 during a summer sale, and came with a massive stock of 10,000 copies. It was available for just 1 hour, priced at 10,000 Robux, making it one of the most widely available swords in the entire Immortal Sword series. Named after patriotic pride, this blade stands for the red, white, and blue, carrying a tone of valor in its design and description. Despite its high stock, its symbolic flair and place in the timeline still gives it a unique identity among collectors. Even if it never sees combat, it proudly flies the flag from the user's back. Released on September 30th, 2017, Immortal Sword Vlad's Lament carried a darker, more somber theme than its predecessors. Priced at 10,000 Robux and available for a full 96 hours, the sword originally saw modest sales. However, when it unexpectedly returned on May 29th, 2022, it remained on sale for only 28 minutes before being marked limited, allowing 185 more copies to slip into the hands of collectors. The name and lore reference Vlad the Impaler, the historical figure behind the Dracula legend. Described as a weapon that transformed along its cursed master, Vlad's Lament radiates sorrow, power, and ancient darkness. With its bronze and purple grip and a metallic gray blade etched with lamentation, it offers more than just aesthetic. It carries a story of loss, transformation, and immortal vengeance. Unveiled during the President's Day sale of 2018, Immortal Sword Stainless Scimitar made its debut on February 19th, priced at 25,000 Robux with only 100 copies available. As a limited unique, it sold out swiftly and became one of the rare entities in the Immortal Sword series. This blade carries a unique sense of quiet reflection. According to its description, it isn't the wielder who holds guilt, but the sword itself, forever bound to its master's fate. It waits in silence, shameless and ready for action, even if it is, technically, just a hat. The Shameless Scimitar stands out not only for its storytelling, but for being one of the more poetically framed entries in the collection, a weapon of regret and legacy worn proudly on the back. Released just in time for St. Patrick's Day on March 16th, 2018, the Immortal Sword Celtic Blade brought a festive flair to the legendary weapon lineup. Sold for 10,000 Robux with a stock of 100 copies, this sword became a seasonal standout in the Immortal Sword collection. Visually, it's rich in Celtic symbolism. The blade is lined in polished gold, with a dark green core etched in yellow designs. Its handle features 3 golden rings, finished off with a dangling clover charm, a subtle nod to its leprechaun-crafted lore. According to its description, this sword was a gift from leprechauns to humankind, forever resting on your back, ready for action, of course. It's just a hat, so it's never really ready for action. But lucky for collectors, it's one of the more vibrant and thematic entries in the Immortal Sword series. On April 28th, 2018, Roblox took the Immortal Sword series in a sleek, futuristic direction with the release of Immortal Sword Future Falchion. Sold for 25,000 Robux with only 100 copies in stock, it remains one of the more mysterious and lesser favorite entries in the collection, with just over 280 favorites. The sword's description reads, "Beware, its dark light, its promise of power is not to be trusted." Despite that, the dark sci-fi aesthetic adds a unique vibe to the series. Though it sits quietly among its more popular siblings, the future Falchion is still very much part of the Immortal Sword history, hovering on your back, always ready for action, though of course, never really ready for action. Stepping away from realism, Roblox released a pixel-inspired twist on the Immortal Sword series with the 8-bit Immortal Sword Pixel Maker on July 20th, 2018. Priced at 10,000 Robux with a stock of just 100 copies, this nostalgic blade quickly joined the collection of pixel-loving players. Visually, the sword is a clear homage to the original Peacemaker, but in full 8-bit fashion. However, that charm comes with a price. Each individual pixel is actually modeled as a full 3D cube with its own texture, meaning it becomes visually messy and disordered at a distance. While it might look crisp on the catalog, the reality in-game can be far from ideal. Internally, there is an oddity too. In Roblox Studio, this sword is still labeled as Slime Cape, implying it began life as something else entirely. This little oversight suggests the accessory may have been hastily repurposed before release. As per its description, it leans into the retro vibe, playfully suggesting that with this sword, the user holds pixel power, continuing the Immortal Sword tradition of hinting at combat readiness, despite being just a decorative accessory. Released on September 3rd, 2018, Immortal Sword Wicked Heart marks a notable shift in the Immortal Sword lineage. Sold for 10,000 Robux, this sword was different from the start. It didn't follow the limited unique model most Immortal Swords had taken before it. Instead, it launched as a limited item with no predefined stock and was only available for 1 hour. During that window, 821 copies were sold. Its appearance is a direct retexture of the Peacemaker, though drenched in a sinister palette of black and deep red, making it one of the more ominous designs in the series. The visual simplicity of reusing the base model also helped tie it to its spiritual predecessor, while giving it a darker edge. What makes the sword particularly interesting is how Roblox handled its availability and trade features. At launch, even though it was marked as a limited item, it couldn't be traded, only resold. This oddity was later corrected, but it stood out at the time as a strange inconsistency in an otherwise formulaic series. Its description paints a vivid picture of its origins, a cursed weapon, forged from metal taken from a cemetery fence, to only be wielded by the most ruthless and heartless. It stays in line with their series' iconic tradition, saying it's always ready for action, while also reminding you it's just a decorative accessory. Despite the chaotic rollout, its legacy is that of a black-hearted anomaly, both in function and form. Released on October 12, 2018, Infernal Undead Immortal Sword marked Roblox's Halloween contribution to the Immortal Sword series. But this wasn't just another 100 copy drop. This time, Roblox did something unexpected. The sword launched a massive stock of 31,000 copies and a price tag of 13,000 Robux. This decision sparked confusion and even criticism from players who were used to the tightly controlled 100 copy releases of past Immortal Swords. Despite the large stock, only 12,681 copies were sold, and on June 20th, 2024, Roblox made the item tradable and resellable. Visually, Infernal Undead stands out with a silver blade, glowing green handle, and purple runes etched into its surface. Between the blade and handle is a detailed decorative spider, and a small horned skull dangling from a chain, adding a touch of gothic menace. With a true signature, it was the first Immortal Sword to include a visual effect, emitting wisps of smoke while worn in-game. This made it the third Roblox accessory ever to feature the smoke effect, along Arbadam's smokestack top hat, and the singed scientist's hair. The item's description reflected dark, arcane power, labeling it as a necromancer's weapon of choice, and hinting at a power gained through an unknown cost. True to tradition, the phrase reminds players it's just a hat, not really ready for action. With tens of thousands of favorites by 2024, and a still sizable number of unsold copies out there, Infernal Undead became one of the more controversial, yet iconic entries in the series. Powerful in appearance, bold in marketing, and still leaving players wondering what could have been if Roblox had kept it limited to 100. Released on November 17th, 2018, the Ivory Immortal Sword was a return to the series' original formula. 100 copies, 25,000 Robux, and no frills. Visually, Ivory took a different approach from the dark, infernal tone of its predecessor. This one leaned into a feathered, heavenly aesthetic, standing out with its clean white blade and soft, elegant design. It looked less like a war-torn relic and more like a divine artifact, something you'd expect to see wielded by an angel or guardian of the skies. Its description echoes that divine energy, hinting that its glowing power is embedded within the precious material of the sword itself, waiting patiently for the right master. Of course, it closes within the series' tongue-in-cheek reminder. It's an accessory, so it's never really ready for action. Despite its elegant design, Ivory Immortal Sword never gained massive traction. As of 2025, it had only been favored 3,700 times, making it one of the more overlooked entries in this series. Whether that's due to timing, marketing, or simply its more reserved look compared to the rest, Ivory remains a rare piece of Immortal Sword history. Released on November 24th, 2018 for Black Friday, the Onyx Immortal Sword took the elegant form of its predecessor, Ivory, and reimagined it with a much darker twist. This sword is a black and red retexture of Ivory, replacing Divine Glow with something much more ominous. While it shares the same heavenly shape, the new palette gives it a sinister, corrupted energy, like a sacred weapon that's fallen into the wrong hands. With only 100 copies and a price of 25,000 Robux, it stuck with the traditional Immortal Sword formula. But unlike Ivory, Onyx found a wider audience. As of 2025, it's been favored over 7,400 times, making it one of the more popular entries in the mid-era of this series. Its description mirrors that shift in tone. Instead of glowing light, its power is now locked within a precious stone, waiting to be unleashed. Of course, the classic line closes it out. It's an accessory though, so it's never really ready for action. Whether you see it as Ivory's evil twin or its natural evolution, Onyx Immortal Sword has cemented itself as a fan favorite and a perfect fit for the shadowy aesthetic that many players crave. Released on December 11th, 2018, the Gingerbread Immortal Sword brought holiday spirit into the Immortal Sword lineup with a deadly twist. Priced at 11,000 Robux and available for just 48 hours, it was Roblox's attempt at a festive yet fearsome limited. The sword itself looked like it was baked in Santa's workshop. A cookie-colored blade, decorated with white frosting, peppermint spirals, and red and green gumdrops embedded in the hilt. The handle being a striped candy cane, of course. But don't let the sugar-coated design fool you. This sword means business. Despite the sweet appearance, the Gingerbread Immortal Sword had a rocky launch. It was originally meant to be a limited unique, but due to a technical error, buyers couldn't purchase it through normal means. Some users used inspect element and browser control tricks to buy it anyway. Only 23 copies were snagged this way before Roblox corrected the listing. It eventually sold 410 official copies, though glitched versions still exist, making it one of the stranger release stories in this series. Roblox later enlarged the model to match the size of other Immortal Swords, as the original was unusually small. Now limited, its description leans into the theme, delicious and deadly, a simple line for a chaotic holiday classic. The Gingerbread Immortal Sword proves that even the most festive weapon can pack a punch, especially when things go off the rails. Released on February 8th, 2019, Immortal Sword, the Heart Shaker, entered the catalog as part of the iconic Immortal Sword series, priced at 14,000 Robux with a limited stock of 100 copies. The sword's design and name clearly suggest it was themed for Valentine's Day, but it dropped a bit early, missing the 14th by almost a week. Still, that didn't stop it from being one of the more unique entries entries in the lineup. It features a classic Valentine's-looking appearance, and its theme of love and risk is reflected in the description. It captures the feeling of taking a leap, perhaps both in love and Robux. Despite the romantic premise, the Heartshaker has stayed relatively under the radar. Still, for collectors, it's a standout for its timing and tone, injecting a bit of emotional tension into the unusually brutal, battle-ready Immortal Sword series. Dropped during the President's Day sale of 2019, Immortal Sword Shatter Earth was released on February 16th, carrying a hefty price tag of 25,000 Robux with a limited run of 100 copies. The sword brings an elemental theme to the table. Its name and description suggests it's imbued within the spirit of the Earth itself, while its appearance conjures visuals of a fractured tectonic blade, raw, primal, and dangerous. It's one of the more mystical and granted entries in the series, and despite releasing during a major Roblox sale, it didn't explode in popularity, amassing just over 3,200 favorites as of 2025. Still, for those who love collecting elemental or thematic weapons, Shatter Earth carries a power and lore that a few others in the Immortal Sword series attempt. Unlike most of its predecessors, the Frightful Blade of Bone didn't drop through the catalog or a limited sale. Instead, it was an exclusive gift card promo item, only available by redeeming a GameStop card during October 2019. Despite never being officially branded as an Immortal Sword in its name, its internal model tells a different story. Mesh_Bone Immortal Sword. It's clear Roblox originally intended this blade to be part of the series. Aesthetically, the sword was themed for Halloween, featuring a design forged from bones and dark sorcery. Its lore-infused description tells of a dark osteomancer who crafted the blade from the remains of fallen foes. That grim theme sets it apart from the other, more heroic entries in the series. In total, the blade was redeemed over 78,000 times, making it one of the most widely obtained swords in the Immortal Sword lineup, intentional or not. Despite the high redemption count, it was only available for a single month, from October 1st to November 1st, 2019. From October 1st to November 1st, 2019. Whether it's considered official or not, there's no doubt, Frightful Blade of Bone belongs among the ranks of Roblox's Immortal Swords. Released on Black Friday 2019, the 8-bit Immortal Sword, Venom's Bite, took the venomous legacy of Venom's Bite and digitalized it, literally. This pixelized, retro-style back accessory was available for 20,000 Robux on a 3-day timer, launching on November 29th and going limited shortly after. Aesthetically, it mirrors Venom's Bite, but with an 8-bit twist. Every edge is blocky, every surface pixelated, channeling the spirit of classic arcade visuals. But don't let the old-school graphics fool you. This sword is still deadly. Its digital theme is baked right into the description. The scripted blade.exe poisons the data of all who wield it. With only 116 copies sold, it remains one of the rare entries in both the 8-bit and Immortal Sword lineups. Venom's Bite also marks the second 8-bit variant in the entire series, following the footsteps of Pixelmaker. While the original evokes fantasy and mysticism, this one leans hard into glitch aesthetics and corrupted code. It's a fan favorite among digital collectors, and a sharp reminder that even a pixelated sword can still carry a powerful bite. Released on July 1st, 2025, Immortal Sword, the Phoenix Feather, represents a fiery rebirth for the Immortal Sword series. This accessory is not sold individually, but instead it came as part of the Infernal Deathwalker bundle, giving it a unique status compared to its limited or eliminated unique predecessors. Originally known under the working title Sword MP, the final name, Phoenix Feather, evokes the imagery of myth, flame, and resurrection. Its appearance showcases just that, and the name alone suggests a sword born from ash and fire, fitting well into the legacy of magical and cursed blades that define the series. Its description is just 2 words, butter beware. Short, mysterious, and oddly humorous, it's a break from the usual poetic or foreboding descriptions used throughout the series. Whether it's a reference, a typo, or an inside joke, no one really knows, but it's undeniably memorable. As of July 18th, 2025, it has been favored 145 times, making it the freshest entry in one of Roblox's longest running and most collectible accessory lines. The Phoenix Feather doesn't just mark the continuation of the series, it symbolizes its enduring popularity, rising again and again from the catalog ashes. From ancient legends like the Peacemaker, to glitchy exclusives like the Gingerbread Immortal Sword, to modern Enigma blades like the Phoenix Feather, the Immortal Sword series has proven to be one of the most iconic, enduring, and unpredictable item lines in all of Roblox history. Whether they sold out in seconds or glitched into obscurity, each sword has carried its own mythos. Some were elegant, some were cursed, some were pixelated, and nearly all of them share the same iconic truth. This sword hangs on your back, so it's always ready for action. It's an accessory though, so it's never really ready for action. But despite the joke, these swords have seen action, in trades, and resales, and in countless avatar loadouts, across Roblox games and profile showcases. As of today, the Immortal Sword series spans decades of Roblox culture, and there's no sign of it stopping. If history repeats itself, we might see many more blades on the back in the years to come. So whether you're a Roblox collector, a Roblox trader, or just a fan of Roblox lore, the Immortal Swords are more than just accessories. They're pieces of Roblox history, waiting silently for action.